Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zentangle Explore. I'm so excited that you're here to draw with me either live or on the replay. And this is a class where we explore one Zentangle pattern, really slowly for the entire class. And it's all about exploring. And so I will guide you in what my version of it is. And I don't expect that what you come up with looks maybe even anything like what I am doing. So this is just time to just settle in, be nice and quiet. We're going to start with a meditation, and then we will draw for a long time, and it's going to be super fun. And I will tell you that the tangle we're doing today, it's a miscellaneous tangle, meaning that I don't know who created this. It's from a group of tangles that I have that are unidentified. And I call it orange slice because it kind of looks like an orange slice. We're going to do this, and then I've got some little variations that we can add to that. All right, so let's settle in and do some little breathing and meditation. So just get nice and comfortable in your seats. Adjust anything that needs to be adjusted in your body or your environment. And you can close your eyes if you'd like, and we're just going to breathe. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and just check in with your breath. Say hello, breath. Just notice what your breath is doing. No need to change it or alter it. Just notice. Perhaps you're inhaling. Perhaps you're exhaling. Just become aware of what and how you feel on the inhale and the exhale. Perhaps begin to notice that at the top of the inhale, there's a little tiny little break, little rest, little stop. And then the exhale begins. Bottom of the exhale, there's a little break and a little stop before the inhale begins. If there are any sounds in your environment or sounds in my environment, just allow them to be there. Your breath continues no matter whatever else is happening in your environment. And the cycle is the same. Inhale, little stop at the top. Exhale, little stop at the bottom. Now maybe draw your attention to where else you might feel that breath in your body. You may feel it as it goes in and out of your nose, around the edge of your nostrils. You may feel it as a little friction in the back of your throat. You may feel your chest or your shoulders or your back actually expand and contract with each inhale and exhale. You may notice in your belly just breathing, nothing else to do. But to bring your attention with full focus onto your breath and how it feels in your body. And sometimes this quieting of the mind and the breathing brings up thoughts that may not be pleasant. If that happens, just let those go. It's our choice whether or not to believe or attach to our thoughts. Continue to bring your breath just right back to your attention right back to your breath. And my focus is on my breath, not on my thoughts. I allow my focus to rest on my breath. I allow those thoughts to leave me. If they're important, they'll pop up later, but they're not necessary now. And as you focus on the inhale and the little stop, and the exhale, and where you can feel your body moving as a result of that breath, perhaps you can feel where your breath and your body moving with your breath are interacting with your clothing, or your chair, or your desk, or your lap. See if you can notice one other point of contact, or one other movement or change that happens with each breath. It's nothing to think about. Just allow that awareness, any awareness that's there, to just float into your mind, float into sensation, first in the body, floating up to the mind, and becoming a thought. Allow sensations in your body to speak to you gently, lovingly. As your body explains and explores what it is to breathe and do nothing else. And maybe with your imagination, start to elongate that cycle of the breath, imagining it going up from your lungs into your head, beyond your head, into the air above, perhaps into the clouds. Cycle back down through your body, into your feet. Imagine it going through the floor and into the earth. Just expand that cycle. And just notice how that feels. allowing the experience to unfold exactly as it needs to, without judgment, without trying to change anything. Just a gentle invitation to notice your breath and to ride along beside it on its journey. Allowing it to teach you a little bit more about breathing and the experience of breathing and the truth and the beauty of breathing and the gentleness and the nourishment that breath brings to every moment that we notice. And as you continue to focus on your breath, perhaps bring some gentle awareness and attention to your extremities, to your feet, your knees, to your toes, to your fingers, to your wrists, to your elbows. Maybe deepen that breath a little bit. We start to bring our awareness 100% right here in the space you're creating individually, in the space we're creating collectively. And before we come back fully, just know that, and perhaps give a little thank you of gratitude that whatever you create today will be exactly what it needs to be. Exactly what it needs to be. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right, I'm going to switch my camera and we will start to draw. All right, so I have more than one piece of paper here because you can draw more than one of these little drawings, and I have multiple pens. I have a 01 Micron. You can use whatever pen you have available. You can even draw in color. I have a 08 Micron, which is a little thicker. I don't know what I'll use. I could use this purple pen. It's entirely possible. So we're going to draw this little tangle that I am calling orange slice. And I will lead you through the beginning parts. And there's more than one way that I'm going to show you how to draw this. You can choose what you'd like to draw. The whole point of this class is that whatever you draw it really, really, really slowly, super slowly. So, light. We are going to start with a circle. A really slow circle. And if your circle's a little wonky, like mine took a little curve there, that is absolutely perfect. These do not need to be perfect circles. In fact, it'll be far more interesting if they are not perfect circles. Allow your circle to be however it is. And so the simplest way to do this, and we're going to explore a couple ways because everyone might like to do this a little differently. I'm going to move my center off center. So instead of going, I could go straight across like I'm cutting a pie, but instead I'm going to do this little curved, little arch line there. Just side to side. And I'm going to cross that line as if I'm looking at a beach ball, side to side. This does not need to look like mine. You could have started in a completely different way. Your lines on different parts of this. However you're doing it is just perfect. And I mean that sincerely. And I'm going to split this one more time. Turn your tile as you like. This is a little bit of a combination of Enzapel. So Enzapel is where we draw. Two ways to do this. You can draw on these lines, skipping all the corners. And it creates these little triangles here, little bitty triangles. And then those triangles get colored in black. So it rounds all of the corners. So before we had triangles, now we have this rounded space. I'm going to rotate my tile and come to the next one and show you a different way to do this. So we can round, we can draw, right like I did, draw on all the lines, skip all the corners, and then black those corners in. Or we can just round out the corners directly. I really love drawing, or I draw the shape inside, but you may not. It's up to you. What works best for you? Here I'm just coming and just blacking those corners in directly. Just with the drawing of the lines really slowly, also with the coloring of the corners. Just watching that ink fill that space. There's no rush, no hurry. We have lots of time to draw. And explore this pattern. If you get a little bubble in your line, you're going to just black it in anyway, so don't worry about it. Very forgiving pattern. It's going to look fantastic no matter how you draw it. Another way to draw this would have been to fill all of these little rock-like shapes in the middle in each one of these segments, and then go off and color them in. I'm going to show you a little bit of a different way to do this. I vary my shape. So once we discover or know what the parameters or what the elements are to each little tangle, then we can change it. So I could have started with a little circle in the center. And then radiating lines, and I can make them across from each other like this, or I can just put them in randomly, however I want. I can make some segments big, some segments small. I can offset the lines so that none of them actually line up across, just to see what happens. And then the rest of it is the same, rounding those corners, adding that little bit of mortar to our triangle bricks here, cementing them together, unifying the shape. And then I can choose whether I want to blacken that circle at the end or just let it be there. And if as you're drawing, you think, oh, what if I did this really fun variation? What if I drew a squiggly circle? What if I drew a square to begin? What would happen if I give it a double aura? I'm going to play with aura in a minute. What if I surrounded the outside with little baby orbs, little baby circles? What if I filled the little orange segments with little baby circles? Circles within circles within circles. Nice and slowly. If you notice that you got really excited about your drawing and started drawing faster, that's okay. No judgment, just gentle awareness, kindness. Coming back to your breath, slowing down. You can allow these shapes to interact. You can draw them too close to each other. They overlap and go behind. You can move that center wherever you like it to be. Just drawing slow lines. Coloring and rounding the corners, nice and slowly, with great attention. Following whatever impulses or inspirations are popping into your awareness. Not judging them, not arguing with them, just saying yes and following through. You can draw these off the page where your center will be off somewhere else, or Perhaps it's right here. You are choosing it. It can be wherever you want it to be, and wherever you want it to be is exactly where it needs to be because it is your choice. Slowing down, allowing the lines to be what they are. If they're crazy and wiggly and they're not what's happening in your mind, that is okay. 100% okay. Just allow them to do whatever they're doing. Say, wow, that's really interesting. That's not what I expected. I wonder what that's going to look like in the end. I'm going to hang around and see. Maybe you like it just like this, without filling it in. Maybe you decide to fill in the insides instead of the outsides. Maybe you decide to add a little wiggle aura. Maybe I decide to let that one rest for a little bit so I can decide whether I want to do something different with it or leave it the way it is. Just come back to it. Slow lines. Gentle breathing. Just slow, leisurely exploration, rounding those corners, drawing whatever shapes appeal to you. Choosing to appreciate whatever shows up. Knowing that your pen is your friend and you choose what line will happen next. Really slowly. Okay, you can keep drawing. I'll show you what happened over here. These are my explorations. All right. Thank you so much for drawing with me today. If you would like to donate to these classes, I want to say thank you to everyone who has ever donated to this class. I really appreciate it. I love to make this a free offering, and those who are able to donate and want to keep these classes going, I really appreciate everything, anything that you send to me. So paypal.me/eternalpossibility is where you can donate. And if you're interested in Zentangle classes, my fall schedule has been released at eternalpossibility.com, and registration is open for fall classes. So you can join me there. All right, thank you so much for drawing with me. And also, actually, I have to let you know that I will not be drawing the next 2 weeks. I'll be traveling. So the next date is September 30th. So if you're watching this on the replay and you would like to come live, so exciting, you can see me here on Friday, September 30th at noon, from noon to 1 Central Time. All right, bye everybody.